Okay, so the session's being recorded. So we talked a little bit about conversational selling last time. Has anybody tried it? Having any success? Are you getting more comfortable? Anyone want to share? Everyone's quiet tonight. Well, just kind of a recap in terms of conversational selling, it was really all about utilizing. Okay, so Carla's asking, are you online yet? Um, and I'm saying yes. Everyone's on, so I'm not sure why others aren't getting here. Maybe she'll get on. Carla's looking to get on. So it looks like I've got several callers, and Linda's on the web, Teresa's on the web, Jennifer's on the web, and then several callers. Uh-huh.
Have them just go ahead and call in, because I had that problem that one night and I couldn't get back in, so I had to call in. It's scary.
Okay. Okay, I'll just have her call in. So we talked about conversational selling, and as you know, conversational selling is really all about utilizing the GROW system and the GROW model. And who can tell me what the G in GROW stands for? So it's actually getting to know the person better, right? Getting to know the person is what the G stands for. Yeah, there are people having problems logging on, so I'm not sure why, because other people are getting on. Jennifer, you're on from your phone. You have the app on your cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. And Linda, are you on your computer? Linda Smith? Yes. Okay. And Therese, you're on your computer? Either talk or type in the chat.
Okay. Jen, we're going down, so we won't bother you.
Okay. Yeah. So I know that it's working. I'm not sure why other people are struggling, but maybe they'll be able to join here in a few minutes. So the G in GROW is getting to know the customer better. R is recommending the right solution, whether it's Avon product or maybe the Avon opportunity. And then O is offering relatable stories. And then the W is working to establish next steps. I've had a chance to hear a lot of you guys role play it. And, overall, everyone in this group is doing an awesome job. You all have your different style, and that's great. You all are great at, recommending the solution. If there were one area I'd say to practice more on is just starting the conversation and not be so quick to offer a recommendation. Just dig a little bit deeper as you have conversations with people, and always know that if you do it right the first time, you will have another conversation with them, because you're going to get a name and a number, and you're going to follow up. Okay. Now, I also, before we got into night session, I wanted to talk a little bit about RepFest. It was an awesome weekend. I know many of you on the call were there. There's just so much to talk about. We can't take this whole call to do it, but I'm going to summarize some things at the end. But does anyone have anything they'd like to share in regards to Red Fest, any thoughts that they have, or maybe one thing that they really liked that they heard or saw this past weekend. You may have to come off mute for us to hear you. What about you, Jennifer? Anything that you'd want to share that you heard?
There was a lot. I gotta say, I started the wellness stuff yesterday, and I'm liking it.
Good. I started mine today, so we'll see. I started to take a sleep pill last night because I just didn't rest well while I was gone. I thought, okay, let me take one of these sleep pills and see what happens. But I didn't do that. But the new wellness. Oh, Linda says the same thing. The new wellness. The new wellness is awesome, and I think it's going to be a game changer for us. And we all have the next 90 days or so to try it and test it and create our own testimonies. So I think, thank you for sharing that. That was awesome. And we'll talk about that more for sure. There's going to be more opportunities for us to talk about it. All right. Oh, the Mini Cooper. Woohoo! Yes, that Mini Cooper is just the cutest. And everybody has an opportunity to win a convertible Mini Cooper. You can see that information on your Vibe. Teresa, trip to Bermuda. Yes, that cruise. Oh my gosh, that cruise is going to be awesome as well. I mean, there were so many things announced and so many opportunities. And I'm so glad that you guys have shared some of those, because it's very appropriate for our conversation tonight. And of course, the conversation tonight is really all about goal setting. And goal setting is the first step to really achieving your dreams. Now you've talked about, creating an opportunity for people that you meet and sharing the opportunity. Tonight we're going to kind of refocus. And while in the past it was a conversation about your belief, you're having a conversation with other people, you're getting to know them. The whole session around conversational selling wasn't really about you, it was about the other person. Well, tonight we're going to get very selfish and we're going to talk about you. And so goal setting is that first step to achieving your dream. And when you think about our agenda tonight, we're going to talk about starting with your dream, making sure that we have SMART goals, making sure that we're looking at our measures, and what to think about when we're setting goals, and how to define strategies. Now, I think this topic is probably one of the most important topics that we could have for anyone who has a business or who is building a business. And once you guys do this well, you're going to be able to share it with your teams to help them set SMART goals. Okay. Now, here are some statistics to share in that. This came from the Harvard Business Review, I believe. But basically what it says is that there were members of the Harvard 1979 MBA program. They were asked to write down a clear set of goals. This was 1979. Only 3% had. So only 3% had. And 10 years later, the 3% that had written down their goals were earning on average 10 times more than the other 97% of the class combined. Why do you think this may have happened?
Because when you write your goals down, it makes them more realistic, more easily to achieve, as opposed to not writing them down.
Absolutely. And probably makes you a little more accountable to them because you've written them down somewhere. And, I think you also have to take into account, if you write your goals down, you want to make them visible. You want to put them someplace where you can see them, whether it's on your mirror in the morning in your bathroom, whether it's on your refrigerator, maybe it's something on your cell phone. you really want to write them down. Okay, so I'm having someone say they can't call in, they can't get on. Now, Deborah, you were able to call in, right?
Yes. And the number that I called in is different from the phone number on the link, the email link.
Did you?
I'm wondering if that's what
Okay,
the
maybe
email
that's
that I got of the coming up meeting. That's what I was trying to log into, and it keeps saying waiting on administrator.
So did you use the phone that I put in our group text?
Yes. I tried to use the link that you sent us, but it wouldn't let me click on it.
Okay, let me just text Carla. Use the phone number in the group text. Maybe I could just send it to her real quick. I'm sorry, guys, but I'd like to have her, as many people on here as I can get. So let me send her this real quick. 872-240-3212. Okay.
I really wish I could see the screen. What is the meeting ID? I'm going to try to do that on my phone. Do you have the meeting ID handy?
It was in the group text.
It won't let me pull the whole thing up.
The meeting ID is the same as on the phone call. It's 970-301-973.
Okay. That was the code. Okay. I'll try that too.
Okay.
Because I want to see the screen.
Right, right. Okay, we'll see if we can get Carla on as well. Okay, so you're right. I'm sorry, question?
No, it works. I'm on.
Okay, perfect. So you're on the computer?
On my phone.
On your phone. Okay, but you see the screen.
I see the screen.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so maybe we'll get Carla here in a few minutes. So as we talk about starting with your dream and your why, you know, it's really important to dream big. Avon has really helped a lot of people achieve really big dreams. I mean, whether it's been homes and cars and, you know, getting out of debt, paying for college educations. There's just a lot of things that Avon has been able to help people achieve. You know, and it's important to really determine specifically how your dream, how Avon can help you achieve your dream, and to determine when you want to achieve your dream. Now, you know, some examples of dreams might be, you know, how much money will be required for a certain thing, or what title will you need to achieve, and how much time do you have to achieve it. You know, some dreams may take years to achieve, and as we know, and as you go through this exercise of writing down your dreams, you know, some of your dreams may be very big, but then there are going to be other dreams or other goals that are kind of stair step to allowing you to attain them. And we're going to go back to the A in SMART goals, which is, you know, is it attainable? You know, so you'll need to set attainable goals along the way to achieving your big dreams. Okay. And so many of you have been through the process, and you've seen this acronym where we talk about SMART goals. And, you know, SMART goals kind of being the framework, and those goals being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. You know, some examples that are not SMART goals, you may say, well, you tell me. If I say I have a goal of I want to recruit more people, is that a SMART goal?
No,
Okay, so Deborah, why is that not a SMART goal?
because it's too generalized. You need to give a specific amount. You can't, just like if you say, I want to make a lot of money, that's not specific enough. You need to put a dollar amount in there.
Excellent, excellent. So that SMART goal in that instance, instead of saying, I want to recruit more people on my team or I want to make my team bigger, you really would want to say, well, I want to recruit, one person each month through the end of this year or one person each campaign. So it's very specific, it's very measurable, it's very attainable, it's very relevant, and it's very time bound because you've said when you want to achieve it. Okay? So as you look at the goals that you're going to write down on your application guide, you just want to keep that in mind and apply the SMART principle, as to whether they're smart, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Okay? So let's take a look at our measures. We use key measures for our goals. And this will ensure that our goals are specific, measurable, relevant, and at least the first three letters of SMART. So we begin with our personal goals because those are most directly tied to our dream. So, maybe your dream is, maybe you want to buy a new car, or maybe you want to buy a new house, or pay for college for a child or a grandchild. There are some personal goals that you're going to have to look at that's going to feed into that and help. And because you are in leadership, there are team goals that you want to look at, because if your team is performing, and if your team wins and if the people on your team wins, you win. And when you win, you're further along at achieving the goals and the dreams that you have. So hopefully you all have the workshops. You should have received the application guides. You should have received them by mail in the U.S. Postal Service, but I also sent them out to you via email as well. So here's some example of some personal goals. What title you want to earn, maybe a dollar amount in earnings, maybe how many first generation appointments, and maybe your own personal sales, because you want to be Honor Society, Rose Circle, McConnell Club, whatever the case may be. And then on team goals, you're going to look at your first through third generation sales leaders. You're going to look at team appointments, team recruits. What is the order activity? And the order activity is in a given campaign, what's the percentage of people on your team that are placing an order? If you've got 20 people on your team and 10 people are placing an order, then you got 50% order activity. You may have a goal of getting that to 60% or 70%, or how many team orders do you have? Out of 40 people, how many orders do you have? What's the average order size? Think about it. That an order of $1 to $149, the people, your team can earn how much? Does anybody know how much you can earn for an order from $1 to $149.99?
20%.
20%. So if you do an
20%.
analysis of your team and you look at your team and your average team order is, say, $139, you're only $11 away from helping your team members get an extra 10% in their earning. And that may happen just by them asking another question. If they've got, 5 customers, it's almost like driving through that McDonald's aisle. Would you like fries on that? Or would you like it supersized? So, or did you know about the A box? You got a $40 order. Well, with a $40 order, did you know you could get the A box for $10? So then that $139 order automatically jumps to $149, you know? And so that's the way to help grow your average order size. And then, of course, when you grow your average order size, you're going to grow your team sales, right?
Okay.
Okay. So that's kind of just kind of a brief overview of that one. So as you look at, is there a question?
I wanted to ask you something, Dee. It's Jill.
Sure.
As a leader, okay, we're all leaders, but I'm okay. So, question: someone like me, would I need to be setting all these personal goals and all these team goals, or should I just pick out some and set them? I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Should I be more generally picking all of them? I'm confused on how you're trying to say that we should be setting goals, because I already have goals. But some of these goals aren't goals that I even thought about doing. So should I be doing them all?
You may not do them all, but you have to understand the lever. You have to understand the levers of your business. For example, if you tell me that I want to be a bronze leader, my goal is to be a bronze leader. And we know that a bronze, okay, so let me say this. Say your goal is to be a bronze leader, and you want to also be honor society, and you also want to win the cruise, and you also want to attend the leadership conference in San Diego next year, and you have to be a certain level to do that. You know, once you list those goals, then you're going to start to do the activities that will allow those goals to be realized. And when those goals, when those goals are realized, it's going to fuel your dream, because you're going to make the money.
I understand.
Okay, gotcha. You're going to make the money you need to make your dream come true.
Okay. I just didn't know if you were saying that we should have a goal for each one of these categories. That's why I was asking.
Yes. And to be, and so what do you, based upon my answer, what do you think?
Well, I can see now that you are telling me that I need to make more goals.
Yes.
That's right. Because I only have a handful, maybe 4 goals that I've written down for myself. But I can see that it would probably be smarter if I had more goals.
Yes. And then I think it depends on what goals you have put down. And we'll, in our one-on-one, you know, I won't ask you to share it among the group, but when we get on our one-on-one call, you can share with me what your goals are, and then we'll talk about how they're connected, how your goals are connected to the activities. So yes.
Okay.
We'll dig deeper. And then here we're talking about, you know, setting long-term personal goals. And when we say long-term, we're talking about the next 26 campaigns or the upcoming year. And the first thing you need to consider, you know, is your dream. And do you want to achieve your dream in the next year? Or how close do you want to get to achieving your dream? And so it's really important for you to align your goals to your dream. You know, because there are going to be maybe steps that you need to achieve before you can reach it. And so as you look at your long-term goal, you know, we're also saying, okay, we've got to look at our past performance. And so that's where the analysis comes into play. It's like, okay, let me look at what I did last year. And if last year I achieved so many goals, I need to know what I did last year so that as I make new goals, I can, you know, make sure that they are going to be achievable, you know, which are attainable. You know, if you said, okay, last year I was you know, you just have somebody on your team, you know, last year they were a star promoter, and then they say they want to be, you know, a McConnell Club. Well, yeah, that's possible, but you know, are they going to do that? Can they do it in 1 year? And what kind of activities are they going to have to put in place to make that happen? So here, when you look at your long-term personal goals, it's talking about what do you need to achieve in order to make progress towards your dreams? How much time can you commit to your Avon business? You know, what were your past results? And so you kind of like, okay, here were my past results, and I worked 1 day a week. Well, if your new results or your new goals are 2x, 3x, 4x more than was last year, you got to know that, okay, you got to put a few more hours in. Or how much will my first generation appointment, how much will that impact my business? You know, every new appointment on your team, what does that mean in dollars and cents? Is what this is kind of getting at. When you look at setting long-term goals, you want to make sure your team goals will ensure your personal success. And this gets to be a difficult one for some leaders because it says, what does your team need to achieve in order for you to reach your personal goal? So, for example, if your personal goal is to be a bronze leader and you're hitting the $200 in personal sales and you have $10 or 10 first generation orders, but you're not getting 8,000 in team sales. So this is a prime example of your team needs to achieve the 8,000 in team sales in order for you to reach your personal goal, right? So that's why we're asking you to do some analysis of your team's past results, you know, and as you look at your team, what's the team's best opportunity for growth? As you start to look at your team members and who's placing orders and what size are their orders and what's your team's average order size, it allows you to then kind of say, well, where do I want to focus my efforts within my team this year? You know, how many of my team members can I get to President's Club? You know, every team member that you have performing at President's Club level is roughly a $400 order every campaign, right? And if you had, you know, if you had 10 people performing at President's Club every campaign on your team, that's already $4,000 in team sales with just 10 people working toward President's Club. And we know that when people make President's Club, they're going to stay with you longer. They're going to stay with Avon an average of 10 to 12 years. So consider your team goals as it relates to your personal goals. And then it talks about setting goals for the next 6 campaigns. So this is kind of like, okay, let me break it down. I know what I want to do in a year, but let's break it down and let's look at incremental progress toward my long-term goal. You know, or you might say, okay, I'm in campaign 18 and I've got 26 campaigns. So I got 8 more campaigns this year. So what am I going to do in these next 8 campaigns in my business? You know, what are the goals for your next, 6 to 8 campaigns, and where will you focus? You know, what time of the year is it? You know, how can you grow your team to make a positive impact? So those are the kinds of things that are on your application guide as you start to plan for the next, 6 campaigns. Okay? Then you're going to reflect. You're going to reflect a little bit to ensure success. You're going to ask yourself these questions, and you're going to adjust if it's necessary. So you're going to say, well, are your goals attainable? You know, and each one of you are going to have your goals listed down, and you're going to just ask yourself honestly, are the goals I put down here, are they attainable? And if they are, think about, can you stretch your goals even further? You know, for example, you might say, well, I'm getting personal sales of 200, but gosh, between now and the end of the year, I could probably get personal sales of at least 1,000 because, I'm going to grow. Or what am I going to do in my business so that January 1, I'm going to be ready to promote health and wellness, even grow my team bigger? Or how am I going to get my team members engaged now so that when we launch health and wellness at the first of the year and they're making the New Year's resolutions, you've already got your team and your customers all primed and pumped and ready to go. Then you're going to also ask yourself, well, do your short-term goals align with your long-term goals? If your long-term goal is, in 12 months, to buy a new car and you need, I don't know, $10,000, $15,000, are your short-term goals aligned to do that? So what are some other questions you might ask yourself as you think about this? And some of you may have already listed some goals down. As you look at them, or what are you thinking? Are you thinking, okay, I can do this? Or are you thinking, oh my, I'm out there too far? Okay, that's okay. So after you're reflecting on what you have written down, then it gets into defining the strategies. And I've already started to talk a little bit about that. And that's really the how. So, and when you look at strategies, you're going to think about, okay, I'm going to continue doing the things that have proven to be successful for me. If it works for you and, it's getting you good results, keep doing it. You're going to do more of your most productive activities. Whatever you've been doing that's been most successful of it, you're going to want to do more of it. You may want to stop doing those things that do not produce results. It doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for your customers, your downline, your team. You're going to stop doing that. And you also want to try new activity that could drive results, because what we found is that when you mix it up a little bit and you try something different, you're going to reach a different group. So when you think about your personal goals, if one of your goals is to achieve a title, how will you achieve that title goal? How will you increase your earnings? How will you increase your personal sales? And how will you identify potential new representatives? When it comes to your team goals, you may say, well, how will you help your team increase total orders? So you're going to really think about it. It's like, okay, I'm looking at my team. I got 47 people, and in campaign 18, 27 people placed an order. What could I do to cause more people to place an order? Or how will you help your team increase their average order size? Do they understand the hot points? Do they understand at what size order they start to get a bigger discount? What I said earlier. Do they understand that at $150, they'll get 30% off or 30% earnings, and at $300, they're going to get 35%, and 500 plus, they're going to get 40%, unless they're new and they're in the Kickstart program. And sometimes we take for granted that everybody understands that, but many times they don't. So if you go in and you look at all the people on your team and you look at the order size, and you got a lot of people on your team that placed a $130 order or $140 order, or maybe it was a $145 order, that's an opportunity for you to have a discussion with them about, the order size and what that can mean to their earnings. How will you help your team members to place orders? Are they using their e-store? How will you increase your total team sales? How are you going to get to that $8,000 in team sales if that's your goal? How will you help your team grow their teams? Who on your team wants to start to build a team? And how will you help representatives on your team who want to become leaders become leaders? How will you help your team satisfied? We keep them satisfied so they keep their Avon businesses. You know, do you have some people that are kind of dropping out or on the fence, not sure? You know, maybe just by sharing your experience at RepFest can get them excited or pumped again. So this is really like getting into driving your strategies. Now, each one of you should have the application guide. And the application guide, again, I sent it in the mail. You may have had a chance to start to look at it. You want to complete it and send it to me prior to our one-on-one call. But I will pull it up. Hopefully, can you guys still see my screen?
I see you.
You see me, but you don't see my screen?
No.
I do.
Okay, you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
On my computer.
I see it.
Okay. All right. So in terms of your goals, you're defining your dream. Okay, and that's what's on your application guide. That's this first section. You know, I want whatever. You're going to put what date. In order to achieve my dreams, I need to put that down and with a title of. Okay. Set a personal goal for the upcoming year. You know, what did you earn last year with your Avon business? What's your current leader title? What are your personal goals for the coming year? Your title, 1 year from now. Your total earnings in the next 12 months. Okay. Then you're going to reflect on your past results before you set your goals. And you're going to think about these questions here and make some notes. Then over here, you're reviewing your last 26 campaigns, and you can do that in Vibe. Look at your last 26 campaigns and start to fill this out.
Dee?
Question?
Yes. It would not let, unless I'm looking at it wrong, it wouldn't let me look at the full 26 campaigns from last year. It only let me look at the last 12.
I think a lot of people, it will let you go. You're probably going to have to do like from campaign 16 to 16. Like you can put a range in there. If you're like in 17 and haven't closed out, it won't let you go back.
Okay. Okay, so it should just be the last 26 campaigns, not the 2016.
Right. Yes. Yes. It could only be the last. You're right. Last 26 campaign, not for last year. That's the way. That's the way you look at it. Good question.
Okay.
Okay. And then these are the team measures, and here is the goals and strategies. And see, that's on 6 campaigns. And then here you're going to ask yourself, are your goals attainable? What are the strategies? And as you think about strategies, what can I do? And then think about your personal and your team goals. And these are some examples, you know, about if it's about driving sales, if you sell $50 to 5 people earning 30%, that's $75. 50 people, $50 to 6 people, that's $300. That's 35%. That's 105. And see, again, this was kind of using that example of understanding the hot spots in your earnings. $50 to 10 people earn $40 or $200 in sales. And then here's on recruiting. One recruit who sells $150, that's $20. Plus, you got your 3% bonus on their order. Okay. And then these are the strategies you want to stop doing or continue to do or to try. And then your call to action is really to do in the next 2 weeks, make progress towards your goal. You know, make them smart, And what 2 things are you going to do in the next 2 weeks to make progress to, you know, one of the goals, 2 of the goals, however many goals you happen to list? Because most people are going to list more than one. Okay.
Mhm.
Now you may want to think about, okay, your goals and how they may contribute to your dreams. So your goals may be, okay, I want to win. Somebody said earlier, hey, I want to win the car. You know, so do you understand the incentive, the Drive Like a Boss incentive that runs from campaign 20 to campaign 25? You know, are you interested in setting that as a goal and just know that the activities that would be required to win that, everything that you do toward winning that is also going to drive your business. So the goal for the Drive Like the Boss incentive is that you increase your sales by $100 over last year's sales from the same campaign. So if you're looking at campaign 20 and your sales were $200, then campaign 20 this year, you'd have to grow it to $300, and you get an entry into the drawing for the car. Say you get a qualified recruit, and we know a qualified recruit is a $150 order and it's paid on time. You get 1 entry. So by doing those activities, you're going to contribute to your ability to win the car. But at the same time, you're still making money, and those activities are contributing to your overall goal and also to your dream. Maybe you say, okay, at the same time, we got this other incentive. It's Cruise Like a Boss. Now, the nice thing that Avon has done, and they haven't said exactly what the dollar amount is, you know, even when you won the cruises, the people who won the Nassau cruises, and I think Jill, you went on the Nassau cruise, right? Jill?
Did we lose her?
I think Jill was on the Nassau cruise, but if you choose not to go on the cruise, Avon is paying you cash money.
Really?
Yeah, last time people that didn't go on the cruise, they could get cash money instead. So you may say, well, I'm not really wanting to go on a cruise, but that should not stop you from going after the incentive, because they paid out cash money for those people who did not go on the Nassau cruise last year.
Okay.
The cruise is, the information is on Vibe
It
up
is.
under so yeah, and I was looking at it. You know, you can you get incentive points through the whole thing, and you got incentive things you can cash into for your points, like a beauty case and a tote, stuff like that.
That's right. You got a beauty case, you got an Avon tote, you got the Avon carry-on suitcase. You could get a trip for 1 or a trip for 2. I mean, there were people last year who really worked on the trip for 2. They found somebody in their downline that wanted to work with them, you know, and they worked to do that. There are 7 different activities that you can do inside of working toward Cruise Like a Boss that you could write down as a goal. You know, if your goal is to have personal award sales between $300 and $499, many of you are performing at that already, then you're going to earn 100 points toward Cruise Like a Boss. If your personal award sales are $500 or more, you're going to earn 200 points toward it. If you recruit from an Avon source such as Alma, you're going to earn 150 points. If you recruit from a personal source, it's 300 points. You know, so if your recruit places an additional $150 order, you get 100 points. Now, what's also new as a part of the Kickstart program, you recruit a new recruit, they join Avon, they place a $150 order, and pay for it on time, if they bought a $25 kit, Avon's going to give them a $10 credit on their account. If they bought a $50 kit, Avon's going to give them a $25 credit on their account. And if they bought a $100 kit, Avon's going to give them a $50 credit on their account. So this is in addition to their 40% earnings. So again, now's the time to understand what the incentives are for your new people so you can teach them how to really join Avon. Now, if your goal happens to be, I want to be a goal leader, and you want to be a goal leader by Campaign 26, a goal leader Campaign 26, that person is going to go to a leadership kickoff in January, and it's in San Diego, California. And that trip is going to be awesome. And of course, a goal leader has $200 in sales, 10 orders in the first generation, and $20,000 in team sales. So when we go through our one-on-ones, we're going to be talking about this, and we're going to look at your numbers, and we're going to say, if you want to be in San Diego in January, let's plan, let's put goals, and let's plan the activities that you're going to need in order to get there. Now, there will be a Drive Like a Boss workshop in Indianapolis on Saturday, September 30th. The location still to be determined. I promise you we're going to have this one, September the 30th. So mark that down on your calendar. It'll be an all-day event. We're looking for a location now. Project Runway. I'm not one, I mean, I watch more HGTV than I do Project Runway, but I love Project Runway as a show. But Avon is one of the major sponsors for Project Runway, and you may want to think of how you might use that to promote your Avon business. You know, maybe you have a viewing party. Maybe you invite some friends over, because throughout those episodes, Avon will be doing some unbelievable advertising. We're one of the sponsors, and Avon packed up all kinds of makeup, lipstick. I mean, we're providing all the products that's being used on those actors for those performances. So you may want to be thinking, okay, how am I going to get social? How am I going to share this great news? You know, is there a viewing party I can schedule and get other people together at 8 p.m. and while they're watching it, they're going to see all this great Avon commercials, and they're going to say, okay, I think I want to be a part of Avon, which is going to be an opportunity for you to sign them up. RepFest at the movies, probably the closest location to us is going to be Cincinnati. It's going to be at Cincinnati on August the 9th at 10 a.m. in the morning, and we'll have to get the actual physical addresses. I really pushed to try to have one here in Indianapolis, but unfortunately, it's going to go to Cincinnati. So again, these are goals, and these are things that are going to feed your business. They're exciting things to talk about. They're incentives and goals. If you achieve them along the way, and if you do some of these things, they're going to fuel your dream. They're absolutely going to fuel your dream. On our next collaboration call, which won't be this Friday, but it'll be next Friday, we're going to have this question. The hot topic question is going to be, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? Anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
That's an easy one for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me just open it up for any questions you guys might have.
I've already started working on the goal setting, just jotting down some numbers. But the only question I had to answer, which was the last year's campaign, so it's the last 26 campaigns. I read that wrong.
Yep. That's the easiest way to do it because the system won't allow you to do it. Um, the other thing you may want to think about, for Margot and Deborah, I know you guys both had to leave early from RepFest. No worries. I was able to get your packet of
Ooh,
health and wellness. So I'll get
Thank
one
you.
off to see how to get that to you. For all of you who were at RepFest that have the health and wellness, you're going to get more shipments. So that's the good news. I think that box or that initial thing is like a 30-day supply. I think they're going to send you a couple more shipments this year, so you can have enough to really try it and test it. If you are planning to, I'll say this now, if you are planning to focus on weight loss in addition to the nutritional aspect, take a before and after picture, so that when you launch January 1, you can talk to people and share, what you've accomplished in your goal. Because maybe your goal is to lose 20 pounds or 10 pounds or whatever it is. Some of you may have that goal. If you don't have that goal, then, don't worry about it. But if one of your personal goals is to do that, then why not use your Avon business to facilitate you achieving that goal? Right?
right.
Any other thoughts? You guys are awfully quiet.
Too much rep fest.
Well, hey, let's talk about RepFest. Anything else? Those of you who went, I know Jennifer shared, Linda shared, I think Sue said something. Margo, I know you and Deborah had to leave early, but what did you like about what you did see?
I enjoyed that first group session, and from what I've seen on Facebook of the second group session and the third one, it was pretty good. I wish I could have seen what Christmas looked like, but only thing I didn't, I wish I would have did was put all the product expo in a room instead of all over the place, because it was hard for me to get to. Because it was stairs mainly. You had to find the elevator. But otherwise than that, I thought it was exciting. And it was nice to meet a bunch of new Avon reps.
Yeah.
Other Avon reps.
Right. Yep. That was a concern for a lot of people going the way. I mean, it was nice. It was nice. It was a nice thought, but it was a little harder to see everything.
Gee, I wanted a cowboy.
Oh my God! I took a picture with 3 of them over the new fragrance, and the new fragrance I absolutely love. But I took the picture and I sent it to my daughter, and I said, "I'm going to try to get his name and number for you." And she said, and I took the picture with him, and she said, "Please, please." Oh my God!
We have one on our page, one on our Facebook page. Pam Atkins, I don't know if anybody knows her. She put, "This is what I want for Christmas." I'm like, no, you can't have it. So,
well, what did you guys think of the new fragrance?
I love that. I can't wait to get the samples, because when a new fragrance comes out, what I do is I buy samples, and then I'll post out there who would like to be the first to sample this. And then I take pre-orders. And then if I get enough pre-orders, then I will order it out of the what's new when it's time.
Oh, that's excellent. That's an excellent idea. Now, the other thing you can do, in your A box that came in your tote, you have that one bottle, so you could potentially, get you an envelope and spray some cards and send it out to people, and just in advance.
Right, or the little silk flowers, put it in their Avon order bag.
Yes. So you could use that spray bottle to do some of that in advance of the samples coming out, and save yourself some money.
Hmm.
It's
And
nice to have the real sample. I understand that, but in advance, do that.
right.
That's a great
And
idea.
when I do events, I usually have the full size bottle so that people can see, touch, and feel what they're actually getting instead of using samples. So I'll probably take that sample bottle with me to my next events as well.
Awesome. Very good. Okay.
Thank you, ladies. Y'all just gave me an idea. I'm gonna take y'all's idea and the idea that Amy gave me and put it together. She said put it on put it on flower petals. So I'm gonna
Yes.
get some flower petals from the dollar store. I have an event Saturday, and I was trying to figure out something to do for my table, and so I'm gonna take the new fragrance and I'm gonna sample it for everybody who comes through the event Saturday. So thank you.
Yeah. That was another thing. I love the way they had their display table set up. And I took pictures of it, so that gave me some ideas on how to set up.
Oh, good. Good. I know when you go to the dollar store, you'll see also you can get the flowers, and they also have the little organza bags. And I
Yes.
know some representatives have taken the organza bags, put some cotton balls in it, and spray that.
Hmm.
Spray that and give it to them, and it's like a little sachet bag that they can have. Worst case, I know they've set up flowers and spray the flowers and hand out a petal so people see it and can take it and touch it and remember it. And
Hmm.
all great ideas on the new fragrance. Um, any other thoughts?
Nope, I'm ready to start working on my goals.
Yay! Anybody else? Well, and hopefully this has helped you to think broader, about your goals. And I can't wait till we have our one-on-one calls and you can kind of walk me through it, and then we can talk about, what it's going to take, for you to achieve your goals. And as you try to engage your team, I know many of you said, well, my team's not responsive. I'm not really, getting a lot of action from them. One of the things you want to do is, again, think about the strategies. And when you think about the strategies, you want to keep doing the things that have proven successful as it relates to contacting your people. Do more of those things, that are more productive, but, stop doing those things that don't produce results, in terms of trying to get in touch with your team or pulling your team together. You're going to have to try some new things. And when you try those new things, it's going to be a success for you. For example, you might say, okay, I've got, these people on my team, and you're looking at the ones that have placed an order, and you're like, well, they don't answer my phone calls, they don't come to my meetings. Well, why not send them a quick note in the mail and say,
Right.
hey, I just came back from RepFest, put a little spray or a little card, spray the card with the new fragrance, and say, hey, here's a new fragrance coming out from Avon. Give me a call if you like some tips on how to sell it, or maybe share with them your tips on how to sell it.
Hmm.
That kind of thing. Imagine how would you feel if you opened that in the mail and your leader with Avon had given you that much information. You'd really feel like, okay, she's really want to help me be successful.
Right.
Well, I realize it's a little after 7 and we got started a little bit late. But if there's no questions, I know some of you probably got to get dinner. Deborah's everything okay with your grandson?
Yes.
Okay.
I have to change his bandage daily, and I needed to talk to you because our one-on-one is the 14th, and that's the day that I have to take him back for his follow-up.
Okay. Well, we can move it around. I'll look at it and, or shoot me some dates that work better for you if we need to move it around.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Well, glad he's okay.
Yes. Could have been
Linda, you're doing okay. I think Linda's had some eye surgery, but I think she's doing okay. She's got some more eye surgery coming up.
Okay.
So, aside from that,
Thank you for the card, Dee, by the way.
oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Hey, Teresa, are you on? I know you were at RevFest. Anything you want to share? Okay. What I'm going to be doing is also looking at locations and seeing if there might be an opportunity for us to kind of arrange a face-to-face, like, coffee chat or maybe a breakfast meeting where I can, come to where you are and we can sit down and talk. But we'll coordinate that as a result of our during our one-on-one calls that are coming up. I know some of you have team meetings coming up with your teams. I think Jennifer and Deborah have one on the same day, and I've got a.
Hey, Dee, I actually had to change mine.
Okay.
Because none of my team could make it that day, so we're actually doing it on Monday at 6:30.
Monday the 14th.
Yep.
6:30. Okay, that may work. Now, Deborah, you're still on the 10th.
No, it's going to be the week after. They put it on the calendar on date, so it's, what is it, the 17th?
Thursday the 17th. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that still at the Donato's?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, I'll move that around. Does anybody else have any upcoming meetings or things that they're doing?
Yes, we will have an area meeting, well, like a district meeting on August the 14th for our MCO cafeteria at 6:00.
Okay, so that's 6 o'clock on the 14th as well, same day as Jennifer. Okay, at MCL. Okay. Okay. We'll talk about all of those a little bit more. Anyone else?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, I will let you guys all go, and then I just look forward to, working through your application guide on goal setting. And I just wanted to also ask you guys, some of you weren't at the other sessions, but with my district in the past, I would do like a book review. It was always a motivational book, and I read this book several years ago, but it's called The Energy Bus by John Gordon. And I wanted to see if by chance you guys might be interested in kind of having a little book review with that book. We could probably do it during the month of September. When I did it before, I did it on Sunday evenings. It was like a 30-minute call on Sunday evenings from 8 to 8:30. Try to make it kind of late. 8 to 8:30 where we would review the book. So I just wanted to see if you guys may be interested in doing that. And if you've got somebody on your team that might need a little dose of motivation, that's an opportunity for you to invite them to be a part of, your book review. And that might encourage them, to really get fired up and get their, Avon business going. We're not going to talk about Avon. We strictly talk about the book. But just by you inviting them might allow you to, learn a little bit more about them and have a deeper conversation. And they in turn may say, hey, I'd like to be a part of something bigger than I'm involved with now. So you guys think about that. Let me know on our one-on-one calls if you might be interested in it. And like I said, it would be like from 8:30 to 9 o'clock on a Sunday night.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I think that book actually.
I'm
That
sorry.
was great.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. So it's called the Energy Buzz. And you don't have to have the book to be a part of it. I mean, it would be helpful if you did. You could pick it up at your local library. We can communicate it early enough where you could go pick it up at your local library. You wouldn't have to buy it. Um, but it was high level. It was mentioned at Rep Fest.
Okay.
Okay.
Was it Jeff Gordon?
No.
No,
No.
I think it's John, Jon.
He said everyone calls him Jeff.
John Gordon,
Yeah.
the Energy Buzz.
Jack Gordon is a car driver, is a race car driver.
Yes.
A retired race car driver.
That's
Okay.
the only one I know.
The only way you know.
Okay.
All right. So you guys feeling okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Good. I mean it's exciting. So I will be sending some things out to you guys, but in the meantime, we'll stick with the schedule. And I know you guys are tired and a lot going on after Rep Fest, but next couple of days I think will allow you to kind of refresh and really think, about your business and do some really good planning. I know I've already talked to some people who've already started, and they're like, okay, I've really never looked at my business like this, and I've never written things down like this. And, I really just didn't look at my team performance and my own personal performance like in this same way. So I think you're going to find that it's going to really benefit you greatly.
Exciting.
All right, guys. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.